My name is John Ingram McCrindle, and I was born on the 6th of June 1905 in Ballybrook Street, Girvan, to Andrew McCrindle and Elizabeth Muir Ingram. They were married in Glasgow in March of 1905. My mum was staying up there at the time, but my dad came from Kirkoswald and my mum was from Girvan. They came home before I was born and stayed in Ballybrook Street before eventually settling in Wilson Street. I have 4 brothers and 2 sisters, 2 half-brothers and 2 half-sisters, so we were a big family, but that was normal to us. My dad was a fisherman and I followed in his footsteps, but in 1925 I enrolled in the Royal Naval Reserve. I enlisted on the 15th of May with the service number A12571. I did lots of training, mainly from Portsmouth to Girvan, but I was usually employed on fishing vessels. I loved my job and I re-enrolled at Ayr in 1930. By that time, I had met and fell in love with a local girl, Mary Clark. We married at the Trinity Church Manse on the 2nd of June 1926. In time, we had 7 children born between 1926 and 1940. 3 boys and 4 girls. Our wee Elizabeth was born in 1932, but she died aged just 5 from diphtheria and cardiac failure. We were broken-hearted. We'd lost my dad and my daughter within 6 months of each other. It was a terribly sad time for our family. I enrolled again in the Royal Naval Reserve Patrol Service in the August of 1939. We'd heard that there might be another war and that they needed experienced seamen. I was given the service number LT7006C and I was a leading seaman, a distinct improvement on a mere fisherman. My wee mum, she was so proud. She was also terrified at me going away. She had lost a brother and a brother-in-law in World War I. She said the family never got over it and were never the same. She said she didn't want history to repeat itself. I told her everything would be fine and not to worry. I sailed on His Majesty's trawler, the Stella Dorado. She had been taken over by the Admiralty in August of 1939 and commissioned to war service in November that year. She was an anti-submarine vessel. In late May 1940, we were called up to help in Operation Dynamo. This was the code name given for the safe evacuation of over 338,000 Allied soldiers from the beaches and harbour at Dunkirk. It was a mammoth task and highly dangerous, but there were hundreds of ships of all shapes and sizes. It was an amazing sight, and everyone came together to help. On the 31st of May, we were successful in picking up 21 survivors of the French destroyer the Sirocco. She had been loaded with soldiers and was torpedoed by 2 German motor torpedo boats, the S-23 and S-26. Less than 24 hours later, on the 1st of June 1940, at 4:30 a.m, my wife became a widow, and my children, the youngest of which was Hugh at just 3 months old, lost their father as we were sunk by E-boat S-34 near Dunkirk with the loss of all crew. The Luftwaffe sank 4 destroyers and 27 other vessels that day, but with tremendous effort, 17,348 troops were rescued from the beaches and 45,081 from the harbour on that day alone. My body was never recovered, and I am remembered with honour on the Lowestoft Naval Memorial. I am also mentioned on the headstone erected by my wife at Girvan Down Cemetery, and I'm listed on Girvan War Memorial. My name is John Ingram McCrindle, and I will forever be 35 years old.